It is so great to be in such a crowded room. So many people being so interested and so worried about climate resilience. Sorry, water resilience. But it is connected to climate, and I will make a comment out of that. You come from different member states, different backgrounds, but you all know to what extent water is such a relevant issue on the ground. Your presence here sends a very strong message. Water resilience is now at the heart of Europe's political agenda. And you think that it is worth to be involved, to be part of this discussion, to find ways to solve many of the challenges ahead of us. Because this is what we need to do. Water is not just another policy file. It is the thread that connects everything to care about. Our health, our economy, our climate goals, our social justice, our development, our farming. So let's start with something that touches all of us, climate change, as I was saying. For many Europeans, climate change is felt through water. Too much water when floods devastate towns and sweep away homes. Much beyond what it used to be. The normal, the average flooding return time. Too little water when droughts destroy harvest, force restrictions and leave ecosystems gasping for survival. And sometimes, water comes in the wrong way, in the form of storms, turning into disasters, or wildfires spreading across dry landscapes. Last year was the warmest year ever recorded globally. We crossed the 1.5 degrees Celsius of warming for the first time. The pace of change is frightening and the cost is enormous. Droughts cost our continent 40 billion euros in 2022 alone. Floods since 1980 have caused over 325 billion in damages all in our continent. And this year, over 1 million hectares burned in wildfires. Behind these numbers are destroyed homes, bankrupted small business, exhausted farmers, disrupted lives, people being worried. The first European climate risk assessment made this link very clear. Most climate risks we face today are, at their core, also water risk. This is why the Commission is preparing a new European integrated framework on climate resilience to be adopted next year, strengthening Europe's ability to cope with a more extreme climate by building a comprehensive and coherent European approach to resilience across member states. We cannot build climate resilience without building water resilience. They are inseparable. We cannot be any more prepared for the average. We need to be prepared for the extremes. Protecting and restoring the water cycle, managing our water sustainability, and ensuring we have water in the right quality and quantity is essential for our future. Ensuring its quality, fresh water for drinking, for farming, for healthy ecosystems, for soils, is so important. And climate is only part of the story. Water is also a cornerstone of the clean industrial deal and Europe's competitive future, as it is when thinking about agriculture and food security. A strong, sustainable economy must also be a water-smart economy. This means much better water efficiency, management, better planning, reliable data, better use, better reuse. Today, many member states still lack accurate information about their freshwater availability. Transparency will create certainty for investors and business seeking to make long-term commitments. And this matters enormously, not just for traditional sectors, but also for sectors driving our green and digital transition, whether we speak about energy storage, green hydrogen, data centres, semiconductors, battery production, infrastructures. All of them rely on a proper management of water. If we want strategic autonomy, we need water security. The good news is that Europe already has a strong base. We hold 40% of all water-related patents globally, and our water sector generated over 112 billion euros in value add and 1.6 million jobs in 2022. This is also an innovation frontier where Europe excels. This is why we will create a water-smart industrial alliance to work directly with industry, stimulate innovation and secure the necessary skills needed to stay competitive in a water-constrained world, to ensure peace, prosperity, inclusiveness for people, but also healthy ecosystems that build into climate resilience and biodiversity protection on the ground. Let me address something equally fundamental, fairness. Even in Europe, 1.5% of our population lack access to basic sanitary facilities, and 4% does not have access to safe drinking water. Water leakage levels vary from 8% to 57% across member states. This is not just wasteful. It is inequality and exclusion. As we look at the investments needed, around 23 billion euros every year, we must make sure the costs do not fall on those who can least afford them. Water affordability is part of the just transition, just like energy poverty or fair wages. The Commission has set the strategic direction through the Water Resilience Strategy, managed and led by my fellow Commissioner, my colleague, Jessica Roswell. Commissioner Roswell and her team are working tirelessly to implement this strategy. In my role, I will ensure that water resilience is integrated across our climate policy, our industrial strategy and our fairness agenda. But success will not come from Brussels alone. It will come from you, your commitments, your innovation, your investments, your partnership, the capacity to follow from the Council, the capacity to take into consideration regions and municipalities. Social players are key. Regions and municipalities are key. Europeans understand the urgency. 4 in 5 citizens want the European Union to do more to protect water. They see this is not only about nature, it is about their health, their food, their security, their future. So, I am so happy to be able to join you today. I am so happy to insist on the importance for you and for us to engage fully in today's discussions, challenge us, inspire us, show us what it is possible, what it is needed, and how we can work together. Because water is life. It is a shared responsibility. Because it is the foundation of a Europe that is secure, competitive, and fair. Because it is part of how we understand the European project. And in these days, it is particularly important to remind ourselves why we want to remain united and to work for the future. Thank you so much, and I wish you a very productive and inspiring day ahead.
Thank you so much, Vice President, and for underlining the huge task that is ahead for all of us. I'd now like to invite Kota Tuto, President of the Committee of Regions, to say a few words. Thank you so much.